Hi, my name's Theresa, and this is my husband Fred. And we live at the American Cooperative on Lake Phelan.
We were in our last home we moved in 1987, and this is many years later, and so it was a major change, but we loved our home and our neighborhood. And it was very diverse, and we got to know lots of people in the neighborhood.
And I myself was not at all interested in living in a senior co-op. Like Fred said, loved our house, loved our neighborhood, thought we would stay there forever. And then one day I saw an ad in the paper for a co-op that was being built overlooking Lake Phelan. And all of a sudden, I grew up near St. Thomas College. My dad taught there, so we were a couple blocks from the river. And I thought, okay, a place that's near water, that is a game changer.
And I grew up on the west side of St. Paul, and I was down by the Mississippi River as a young boy all the time. So water was very important.
We didn't know it though. That was the thing. So then we started thinking about the idea of moving and the idea of moving into a senior cooperative. And much as we loved the neighborhood and children and everything, there seemed to be so many things about this place that attracted us that we didn't know attracted us till we were reading about them. And then we thought, why don't we make the decision to move while we can do it, rather than waiting till it's later, something happens, all of a sudden you have to move, and you don't get to make the decisions. So when we called our 3 sons and told them, and 2 daughters-in-law, and told them we were moving here, they were thrilled. All of them were so excited, and they still are.
Well, when we went to the first information meeting with Mick and Kathleen, and they laid out the floor plans, and when their first one in Anoka showed us how well built it was going to be and how quiet it was going to be, and the finishes and everything were going to be top rate. And we said, well, this is something we would like, because we've been in other co-ops that were built earlier, and they were fine, but this was really a step up.
We'd looked at other co-ops.
Yeah, looked at and been at friends' houses
Right.
in there, and it was really a beautiful floor plan that we were interested in, and we were really excited to try to obtain that.
Well, downsizing, especially for me, because I'm half Irish, half Sicilian, very sentimental, a pack rat. The idea of downsizing and moving was quite daunting, and yet the goal was to just keep looking at the floor plan of where we were going and think about the lake, because we kept, as it was being built, we kept driving over here. Fred was right there.
Right.
The minute I talked about it.
Right, and I'm not a pack rat, and I was I was not worried about downsizing, and it worked out really well. And there was really, I didn't have any reservations or fears or anything like that. I was really excited about it. Well, as everybody has told us before, Anoka people told us before, start now. And they came out and gave a presentation like, you think you've downsized, wait, you have more to go. It's hard to move from a 2-story house with a basement and a garage and say, okay, now you're on a 1-level open concept floor plan and a small storage unit down the hall and another one down in the garage. That's it. And so you have to be pretty ruthless at times about, do I really need this or not?
And again, it's the old thing about you, like the number of clothes you have, you used 20% of them 80% of the time, vice versa, and the same with things. I like to decorate for the seasons. I did a lot of downsizing. Now that we're here, I realize more of my stuff will be going to bridging or Goodwill. But at the same time, it is so worth it. It is so worth it. We absolutely adore being here.
There's some real freedom in starting over. and letting go of a lot of stuff. It's a fresh start at our age, and that's really cool about this whole idea of cooperative living. Well, for me, I'm a pretty solitary guy. I'm a musician, songwriter, writer kind of thing, and so I didn't have a lot of quote-unquote neighborhood friends, and I made a bunch of friends here right away. And there's some people who play music, and we've got a group going together. We're going to do a concert later on this fall or December, and beyond that, just other people that we just get to know, rub shoulders with, and it's amazing how many friends we've made in the short time we're here. Since I've been here, I have the den is now my studio office, and it's much smaller than our old house, but actually I really like it better. It's really cozy. I have all my stuff set up right there. I can record a song just on the spot, and I've been very productive since I've been here.
Apparently, I don't know, the water, the view, whatever, he's been very inspired, and he's coming up with a lot of new music.
Finishing a lot of stuff.
Right. And we're just having so much fun doing things with our new friends here, but also having family and friends
come over
and
for visits and dinners and
yes.
things like that. Very much.
More so for me, because I'm very social.
Very social, and she's got circles and circles of different friends all over the place. For me, it's been really interesting to start meeting people and rubbing shoulders, and you have to in this. It's a community. It's just not an apartment
right.
or a condo. I mean, this is a community, and it's basically also our obligation to get to know people and make this a good community. And so far, it's just been wonderful. Everybody's got a great attitude, good sense of humor, sharing different things. It's really fun.
And one of our neighbors to be put together. First of all, Mick and Kathleen, in the time period when we signed up until the building opened, they would have get-togethers for the people who signed up for the building, and that was one of the best ways to start to grow a community.
Yeah, right.
And then one of our neighbors-to-be sponsored get-together. She was in a nearby apartment at the time, and it was how do we learn to live together as a community? And it was a really good thing to start out with. And the thing is, you're going to get people that run the gamut. And so he's somewhat social. I'm very social. There are other people, they just want to be quiet and do their thing, and they get to do that.
Right. They don't have to. We have gatherings and things that they don't want to come. They don't have to.
Yeah.
And there was a small core group, but it's getting larger with every social hour and other month. We have a monthly fika session where we just talk. We bring in speakers to talk about different issues, and the group gets larger, and the networking gets better. So it's wonderful. Definitely, because everybody has their own thing that they're doing, and people with different hobbies, crafts, different activities. So yeah, I have plenty of time to do what I want to do, but it's fun to know that on Friday we're going to have a social hour. We're going to rub shoulders and talk about what happened and get to know. I try to make an effort every time to sit by somebody I don't know and learn a little bit about them. It's amazing the connections that come up. It's a small world. And it's been fun to make those kinds of connections. Well, I have to admit, it hasn't changed us all that much because we had a yard service and a snowplow service and things, but we don't have to pay for that anymore. That's built into our monthly share payment. And just knowing that and the maintenance issues are not going to be our problem, that's a relief.
Go ahead, Fred. Can't say enough good things.
I mean, we really had not even envisioned a condo or apartment living, anything like that. We talked about it. We looked at some, or we looked at floor plans and say, well, these are pretty small or confining, like an apartment, senior apartment, or something like that. And I think it was just serendipity that Theresa saw this advertisement in the Sunday paper. It looked intriguing. It was by Lake Phelan. My parents had built a home less than a mile away from here back in the 70s. And so I was very familiar with the lake and the trails and everything like that. And so that was very intriguing. And then once we saw the floor plans, then we said, yeah, this.
But we didn't, the point is we did not really know
No.
what a cooperative
No,
was.
we didn't. We had to learn it.
And that, and you know, cooperatives are not for everybody, but for people who say, yes, I would like something where I am part of a group that owns the building in whole. And that it's not just, oh, I'm going to go into my place and do whatever I want with it. And a co-op is somewhere where you can live nicely on your own, and at the same time, by the very structure of it, you are being neighborly.
Right, right. Well, I think, first of all, financially, can you usually you have, use the equity in your home to take out the loan to buy your share before it's built, and that's a consideration for people. And then secondly, looking at the share payment monthly, and it's going to always, obviously, with inflation rise, and you look at your retirement funds and everything else, can you afford that going forward? I think that would probably be the biggest thing right away for people. Can I afford it? And then after that, the question is, would I be comfortable living in a setup like this? And moving from like a two-story house to a one-floor open concept, for some people, probably that is not what they want to do. But for others, if they're open to it, they'll see how wonderful it is and how much light there is, and how refreshing it is to have high ceilings.
Yes, indeed. The house we came from was built by a builder for his family. And when I told him I had looked at a lot of houses before coming across that house, he said, I double sheetrocked that house, glued 2 pieces of sheetrock together, and I went home thinking, this home is the most secure place in the world. And luckily, going to the meetings where Kathleen was talking about construction, I thought, this co-op is going to be very secure, very sturdy, and again, it's something that everybody has an interest in, rather than if you are moving into a condo or an apartment. Right. You don't have any agency regarding that.
Yeah, and the privacy there, it's soundproof. I mean, it's you don't hear anybody, you don't hear next door to you or anything like that, and that's something I'm sure people would say, well, is this an apartment? I mean, I got neighbors, and every unit has a separate HVAC system, so you don't, you control that. There's no odors coming in from somebody cooking, down the hall or whatever like that. So, it really is a secure, tight unit, and you can leave your door unlocked.
And I was a little concerned about the open concept. It seemed like it might be a good idea, maybe not. But and it's a change from what we had before, mm-hmm. But it has turned out to be a wonderful, wonderful right. change.
I was watching football yesterday with the volume down low, and she's in the dining room, and I'm in the living room, which is not very far away, and we could coexist. Where I used to go to the family room and watch it, and I was hesitant, like, oh, I don't know, can I watch football? Yeah.
Because I have scary good hearing.
Yes.
It's very weird. The older I get, the more I can hear.
So it works. It works. I guess I was surprised at how quickly the community has come together. I thought it'd be a much longer process. Only a couple of months now, 2 or 3 months, how quickly we've gelled. And the active members are active, and we're bringing in some new people here and there. And there's a book club now, a craft club. We're doing our music group. And I'm sure it's going to evolve. There'll be more things. But how quickly everything started to evolve.
It's hard. I can't think of a favorite because there's just so many things we really like. We love the view of the lake. I never had an island before, and it's fantastic.
It is.
And one of those things, people get a chance to design there are a number of things you can do to customize your place. And everybody, of course, wants an outlet on their island, and we were told, well, you can't have them on the side because dangling cords and things, that's an electrical problem. So what they did is they put them on the top. And
everybody's really thrilled about it. I can make my waffle iron, put my waffle iron right here instead of having to put it over on a counter and hopefully lift it up.
Right.
So, those are little touches. It just, I think also just how bright and light.
Yes.
I mean, they built this to maximize as much natural light as possible, and it's amazing even on the north side here, how bright it can be. We're on the west side and the south side in a corner unit, and the number of windows we have, I mean, it's really refreshing to be in that kind of environment where, you know, just every day you wake up and you look out to the sky and the clouds and say like, oh, what's happening here?
And that's another very nice thing. Our house was built in '87. Over the years, we've renovated, fixed it up, etc. Last time we got windows and doors was 2003, and we come in here, and that's the other thing. Everything is new. The windows are fabulous.
Yeah, insulated, quiet, you know,
Yes.
just everything about
Yeah,
it.
and the flooring choices.
Yeah,
Wow.
you know, that's the thing, is that you have so many choices, you know, on cabinetry and countertops, and you know, and then you can. There are obviously upgrades for appliances and flooring or whatever you want, but it's up to you and how much you want to put in individually on your upgrades. And everybody has their own idea of what makes it personal for them, their place.
Plus, everybody's finding out that LVP, luxury vinyl plank flooring, is much easier to clean than what many of us have
Yes.
come from.
Yes. My Dyson vacuum loves it.
It's absolutely stunning. We were able to bring much of the furniture from our home, and then we had acquired some new pieces. Got to pick out the chandelier that we put over the dining room table, etc. And so it's a mixture of the old and the new. And really, we sit there and we keep going. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? This is so neat.
Yeah,
this is so neat.
The first couple of weeks you say, are we on vacation?
Yeah.
Are we going, when are we going back? This seems like a really nice timeshare.
And shortly after we moved in, there was some rain, and outside over the lake there was a double rainbow. And so we have a private Facebook group for this place, and so I took a picture and I said, Fred, we found our rainbow.
Yeah. Well, I think basically downsizing. I mean, it's dramatic for anybody who is living in a house. Some people have already downsized and we're living in apartments, so that's not a big issue. But if you're in a separate family home or a townhome or something like that, you really have to look carefully at the floor plan and then start looking. Do you have a public storage unit? You know, how much storage do you have in the house of stuff? And then, you know, have to see what you can donate and what you can give to friends or relatives. And you know, that is a hard thing to decide at times. And we both had to swallow hard on some things to say, oh, you know, I don't have as many instruments and audio equipment that I did before. And it was hard at the time, but actually it's fine. It's fine. I've got everything I need.
But at the same time, what you can tell somebody who's thinking about moving, talk to people who have done this, and the people we had somebody who told us early on that there turns out there's a number of them, but she recommended a company that helped us with the move, and they were so helpful, and that's partly why I'm not still moving things in myself. But I really think that it's a wonderful way to make a decision on your own that hopefully you will realize will make a wonderful change in your life.
And one last thing is that Mick and Kathleen had built the cooperative out in Anoka. And once that was finished, we were able to go through a walkthrough. But then also, we went out there and met with members of their community ahead of time. They were giving us more than just moving advice, but how a community is working for them, and pitfalls, and dealing with the management company, and this and that. And so, if you're seriously interested, you should try to talk to Mick and Kathleen about having a tour or having people talk to somebody who's living in one of their cooperatives. And just get the feedback, because once you've lived in it, you really have much better sense of the strengths, and maybe there's some cons somewhere. I've yet to find one, but there might be down the road. But right now,
we'll let you know.
Well, yeah, it's just almost euphoric at times. How are we really living here? This is really cool.
And again, it was our decision. We didn't have somebody else make
Our
it
kids
for
didn't
us.
have to make it for us and clean out the house, you know, that kind of thing. And so obviously they're very happy, but we're also happy too because we were able to donate or to give things to relatives or whatever now
Yes.
rather than later.
I can do it in 2 words: kind and sharing.
Sense of place.
Well, for me, it's living with him.
Yeah. You know, and really, we're still early in the process, but we're going to be more relaxed. You know, we are feeling more relaxed than we were. You know, this is literally, you know, shedding ourselves of a lot of stuff liberated us, and it's a brand new experience, and it really is fun. And we know it's evolving; things are going to change. But just between, you know, my productivity as a musician, I mean, I've done more in 3 months here than I did in probably 4 years at the old house. And then just having the friends I'm making, the music friends and other friends, it's nice.